What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the DFS Dose YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Joey, and what we do is we discuss the Draftkings NFL main slate each and every single week. In this video specifically, I will be going over 3 of my favorite stacks for NFL Week 10 on Draftkings. If you're new here and like what you hear and see, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're trying to reach 400 subscribers, and it means a lot if you would subscribe to our channel. If you like this style of content and want to see more of it, make sure you leave a like on the video, and you can also leave a comment down below discussing some of your favorite stacks, asking me some DFS questions. We respond to each and every single comment. Without further ado, let's take a look at the Week 10 slate and discuss 3 of my favorite stacks for NFL Week 10 on Draftkings. All right, so I have Draftkings opened up, and the first stack that I think could win you a GPP this weekend is the Dallas Cowboy stack. We have Dak Prescott at 6,900. We have CeeDee Lamb at 7,000. Amari Cooper 6,200, and Michael Gallup should be back this week. He is only 4K, and then Ezekiel Elliott is 7K. as well. This spot just sets up very nicely for the Cowboys offense coming off of a disappointing loss to the Broncos. It is a clear bounce back spot for the Cowboys offense. They are going up against an Atlanta defense that is second worst in terms of DVOA. They're fourth worst in terms of passing DVOA. So this is a smash spot for Dak Prescott. It's a smash spot for the Dallas wide receivers. Now, with the Cowboys offense, there's obviously some concern that they get out to a big lead in this game and they just run the clock down. And we've seen that this season, that the Cowboys want to be run heavy when possible. So that is the concern, and that obviously hurts Dak Prescott's upside, CeeDee Lamb's upside, etc., etc. But the Falcons are giving up the 4th most DraftKings points per game to opposing quarterbacks. They're one of 4 teams that are allowing 2+ passing touchdowns per game. And I think this is just a very exploitable matchup for the Dallas Cowboys passing offense. And it kind of busted last week. So I'm expecting the Cowboys, they want to get back on track. They want to get right, and I think we could see a more pass-centric approach against a pass funnel in the Atlanta Falcons defense. So give me Dak Prescott. Give me 2 of these wide receivers, preferably one of CeeDee Lamb or Amari Cooper, and then Michael Gallup at 4K just for the savings. But Gallup should have some ownership this week, I would think. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Obviously, the Cowboys wide receivers, not much needs to be said. They are great. They get targets pretty much every single week, so I'm not going to discuss them. But in terms of a bring back with Atlanta, I think there's only really 2 or 3 guys in consideration for bringbacks. I think the clear and obvious bringback is Kyle Pitts at 5,800, and he is the most expensive tight end on this slate. At 5,800, you're basically playing a wide receiver in your tight end spot, and that's kind of how you have to rationalize it. Personally, I am not a fan of paying up at tight end anywhere in cash games and GPPs on DraftKings, just because the opportunity cost, I think, is very high, especially when you compare it to other positions like running back, like receiver. We know that those positions have a higher ceiling naturally, so I kind of tend to stay away from the top of the tight end pool just because there's only certain scenarios where it hurts you to fade them, and more likely than not, these tight ends just aren't getting there. But if you're playing a Cowboy stack, Kyle Pitts is the bring back. He's 5,800. His target share is phenomenal. No Calvin Ridley still, and I think it is a pretty good spot for him, especially if the Falcons have to go more pass heavy, which I think we can all project for that to happen. So Kyle Pitts is the preferred bringback. If you need to save salary, you play Russell Gage or you play Zacchaeus in large field tournaments. I mean, it's kind of thin, but Russell Gage, I mean, he does have like 15-point upside, which is okay, but at 5K, I mean, that salary is kind of outrageous. 4,400 for Zacchaeus, and this is kind of what you're hoping for, a 20-point game out of him, which is possible, but it is pretty thin. And I think Cordero Patterson at 6,600 would be the second preferred bringback in terms of Falcons players. And the opportunity he gets when Calvin Ridley is out is pretty massive. He gets about 3 to 4 more rushing attempts. He gets about 2 to 3 more targets when Calvin Ridley is not in the lineup. And frankly, he's their wide receiver one. And that's how it is. And he's going to get work in the backfield as well. And he's always in play, especially, with his new hybrid role in this Falcons offense. So 6,600, great bring back. And this is probably the core for this game stack. You can include Amari Cooper in there as well. I'm going to be choosing 2 Cowboys wide receivers with Prescott and 1 Falcons bring back, and then move on from there. The second stack that I would like to discuss is a Colt stack with Carson Wentz, Michael Pittman, and then you can also include JT in there if you want. He's been one of the best fantasy running backs in the NFL. And obviously, going up against Jacksonville, it's a great spot for the Colts at home. And Carson Wentz has been one of the better fantasy quarterbacks this season. As you can see, only one game with under 17 Draftkings points. The upside is kind of low, but at 5,900, really all you need is like 24, 25 points out of Wentz. And I think that could get the job done in GPPs. Michael Pittman is having a breakout sophomore campaign. 658 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season, has scored a touchdown in 3 straight games. It's obviously a great spot going up against Jacksonville, one of the worst defenses in the NFL, one of the worst teams in the NFL, coming off of, how would I describe it? Unexpected win against the Buffalo Bills. Obviously, they are going to get trucked in this spot against Indianapolis. Michael Pittman Jr. is a fantastic play this week. He has a great target share, and he has big play upside as well. So you're going to want to play Michael Pittman. Jonathan Taylor at 8,100 is pretty pricey, and you're not getting much in terms of receiving volume, which hurts on DraftKings. But goddamn, this man has just been a different breed over the last month or so of the season. Jonathan Taylor has scored a touchdown in 6 straight weeks. And if I would make a bet on anybody to score a touchdown on this slate, it would be Jonathan Taylor against Jacksonville. So I definitely think you can include Jonathan Taylor with Carson Wentz and Pittman. But then again, if Jonathan Taylor is having a massive day, Wentz and Pittman probably aren't, especially if the Jacksonville Jaguars aren't putting up much of a fight. So it's kind of tricky. I think you can in large field tournaments, but I could definitely see not doing that. And then you have the clear bringbacks in Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, and Jamal Swagnew, who was 4,500. And I don't know. I think the Jags wide receivers are pretty much a crapshoot each and every single week. I think my preferred option would be Marvin Jones, but as you could see, he's been disappointing over the last month or so, except for one game. I don't know. He's pretty expensive. Laviska Shenault is 4,600. You're not really getting much upside out of him. I think my preferred bringback would be Dan Arnold at 3,500. As you could see on the screen, 7, 10, 5, 8 targets since coming to Jacksonville. He's 3,500. Obviously, he's not going to get you 25 points, but at the tight end spot, he'll probably get you 10, 12 points, and that's really all you need for GPP. So Dan Arnold would be my preferred bringback in this Colts stack, but definitely stack the Colts up this week on DraftKings. My third and final game stack is going to be the Bucks and Washington stack. This spot sets up very nicely for Tom Brady, for Mike Evans, for Chris Godwin. They are going up against one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL, the premier pass funnel of the 2021 season. The Washington football team is giving up the most DraftKings points allowed to opposing quarterbacks. So Tom Brady, who was the quarterback 1 overall on the season, I think he is one of the best plays on the slate at 7,600. Then you have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. AB, if he's healthy, is 6,100. And then you can also include Gronk, who is 4,400. I would pick two of these three guys. I don't think all three can get there in the same game, in the same lineup. So I think my preferred option would be Chris Godwin and Gronk. Just because we've seen it from Godwin without AB there. His target share is in the high 20s. He's been very, very good. And this is a great spot for Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. So, I mean, it's a toss-up. I think both have extremely high upside. You're probably going to get, an ownership discount on Mike Evans, as I think Chris Godwin will probably be higher owned than Mike Evans. So he's definitely in play. And then AB, if he's back, is obviously in play. But this spot just sets up very nicely for the Bucs pass catchers. I mean, it's the Bucs. Just stack them every single week, and you will win money. In terms of bringbacks, I think there's only two bringbacks that you should consider this week, and that is obviously Terry McLaurin, who is 7,600. The stack is pretty pricey, so you're going to have to save salary elsewhere, but this slate is shaping up to have some great salary relief available in Dearness Johnson and Michael Gallup potentially, and then obviously you have a defense as well. So Terry McLaurin is in play, and then I think the second bringback is either Logan Thomas if he is black off of IR, or Ricky Seals-Jones at 3,700 if you're not playing Gronk. I think Ricky Seals-Jones in this spot. Washington's offense should have to pass a little bit more in this spot against Tampa Bay, and Ricky Seals-Jones would be a 99% snap player if Logan Thomas were to miss this Week 10 matchup. And overall, this is just a game I want to target. It's one of the highest totaled games on the slate, and this features two offenses that are passing over expectation. So I want all of the volume in this game, and the Bucs are coming off of a bye. They're getting healthy. They're rested, and I think this is one of the best games to target. So play the Bucs this week on DraftKings. But that is going to be it for the video. If you guys enjoyed it, like I mentioned at the top, please subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a ton, and leave a like on the video. You can also comment down below any thoughts that you have on the stacks that I mentioned. Like I said, we respond to each and every single comment. Ben will be back on the same YouTube channel on Friday to break down cash games, and we will be live streaming on Saturday night on this channel. If you're interested, you can also find the DFS Dose podcast. It's out now on every single podcast platform, iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. It is out there. We break down the entire Week 10 main slate over there, so make sure you check it out. Link will be in the description of this video. But that's going to be it. I hope you guys have a profitable Week 10. I will see you guys next week.